Hello and welcome to a new stream, Christmas Eve stream. And Nick is here. What's up, Nick? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. How is it going? And Red Wolves is here too. What's up? Hello. Welcome to the stream. So today, yesterday I told you, Nick, that I was going to tell you today if I was going to be streaming tomorrow. I won't. I won't be streaming tomorrow. Like my family took no Christmas hat. Like, dude, I tried to ask my family or people that I know that live relatively close to me because I live kind of far from the city. If they had like a Christmas hat or anything, they don't. So believe me, I tried. I tried to get a Christmas hat for this stream, but no, it didn't work. But maybe, oh, next Christmas stream I'll do a hat. I promise. I'll think about it with more anticipation. So yeah, as I was saying, tomorrow, no stream, because I thought maybe I could do, I don't know, 2 hours. Probably today is not going to be very like long stream. We'll see. We'll see. It's no, yeah. You remember that I will do it. I will do it. Otherwise, like I'll go bald if I don't. The next year I don't come here with a Christmas hat. I will go bald. Promise. Um. Yeah. So let's see what we're going to be what we're going to be doing today. And first, let me put the virtual background here. Probably we're going to finish. Yeah, I don't want to say I'm going to finish the flying enemies today because who knows what can happen. The other day I said the same thing and then just bugs started appearing everywhere. So yeah. Nick, you say I'm starting to think that you want to go bald. No, but I make the promise I am going to be using the because what else could I do? What else could I do? I would bet money, but I'm in debt. I'm not I'm not doing that. The only thing I have is hair. So that's what I can bet on. Okay. So yeah, if I go to Notion, oh yeah, I did some off-camera mining, and the I solved the problem where you remember there was no there was no assignment of well, let me tell you here because it's better if I just pull this up. So in the air slots, the slots that the flying enemies can grab and like go there. Um, what I was doing is like, yeah, I was making this null if I assigned to yeah off camera programming. Um, so I was yeah when this was assigned to null, and the only thing that this does for now, or the only places where this is being called, I am setting it to null. So whatever I call here, I set to null. It was working. The problem is when I kill an enemy in the game, it doesn't automatically like uh, deletes. Why? It doesn't because death animation needs to play, and and when that death animation plays, then I disable the enemy. So that means that while I was at first, I tell the enemy, okay, die. I'm going to do this. So I set this to no, but since he's still doing the dying animation, he's still there and alive. So it's going to try and find another slot, and it's going to make that slot not null. So there's something there, and then it's going to disable. So that caused the this to like basically there were invisible enemies firing at you. So what I did is like just this. It's the most simple change that I could have done. It's on flying enemy brain. Yeah, here. So I just get a new reference to the flying enemy health. Okay, because here and I do this like just flying enemy health, get component flying enemy health, just very simple. Now here, this controls the getting a new point to move to in the flying enemy. I first check, okay, is the enemy dead? Like, is it dead? If it is, then return. Like, it shouldn't be doing anything if it's dead, and that's it. That's uh the whole fix to this error that took me I don't know hours to struggle hours of struggle. So yeah, that's cool. Now, what are we going to be doing today? Because that's what I did. Yeah, very jolly. Exactly. Um, yeah. So if we go to the flying enemy, yeah, do you remember yesterday we tried to do something with like basically making that when an enemy dies, that's on the inner ring. Um, it's going to basically tell the other enemies that are on the upper ring, like go to the position that is free now. That yeah, where the enemy died. Like you just go and replace them if there is any enemy on the top layer or on the top ring. So it didn't work because I had that problem with the the invisible enemies, or rather their scripts being assigned when they were dead. So now I'm going to do that. And I did some pseudo comments beforehand, so I could just go get here and write. So here, let me make these comments highlighted. Let me highlight these comments. And I hope we can get the I hope we can get the flying enemies done before this year ends, so I can have I don't know version 0.1.3 out before the year ends. But version 0.2 is going to have to wait until I don't know some more weeks, so next year. Okay, get a valid enemy on a ring index higher than the current one. That is like just try and see if there's an enemy in the upper ring. And Mijo is here. It says hello, chat. What's up, Mijo? Welcome to the stream. How is it going? Um, what do you say in this time of the year in this holiday? like Merry Christmas Eve. That's what you say. If that's the case, Merry Christmas. But I don't know about Christmas Eve. Okay, so in here, what I want to do is like basically do a for, and what do I want to iterate? And Miho is like going well. What doing? I'm very glad that it's going well. I'm just doing well. You remember yesterday I tried to do like basically if there are if there are two rings, yeah, there are two rings of enemies that can follow you, right? So if one enemy dies in the lower ring or in the inner ring, the ring where enemies can attack you, I'm gonna tell the enemies on the upper ring to go there. You know, if there's an available enemy from up, I'm gonna tell it to go there. So yeah, that's it. That's what I'm trying to do now, and I solved the problem with the oh yeah the stream avatars. Let me put this here. Um, yeah, so I solved the problem off camera with the things being null. They were null. They were correctly assigned to null, but I was since enemies before dying play an animation and then disable, they had like that animation time to try to get another slot, and they were getting it, so it was no longer null. That was the problem for me yesterday. Okay, so since that's solved, I'm doing this again. Get a valid enemy on a ring index higher than the current one. Okay, so this is for int I equals 0. I'm gonna say I is less than what? It's less than the what I'm going to filtering through or iterating through. It's the ring index higher than the current one. Okay, so first I have to check one thing. First, this needs to be only happens when the assignment of this is null. So if I'm trying to assign FEBS, that's flying enemy brain script, is null, then I'm going to do that. Otherwise, I'm just going to try to, like I just send an enemy to there, so there's nothing to worry about, or there's nothing to be replaced. Like, yeah, I guess you get me. Okay, so here, I hope so. So here, if it's null, and also I need to know that the if the ring index of the if the ring index of the one that I basically set to null has an index upper like higher than it. So it's gonna be ring index um should be lower than the ring count. So in case that it's the second one that's on top, it's going to be 1, and 1 is less than 2, so we're good. But if it were to I don't know, ring index is 2. 2 is gonna be if I were to use it before doing this check, it would basically throw me an exception. So I need to compare it against ring index or ring count. Sorry, it needs to be more than the ring index. And Nick say someone gifted me a cube thing made out of like Tetris else, and I've been trying to put it back together for an hour now. Yeah, I think I know what those are. Um, is it like a single color, but you have to like reassemble it into like one piece? I know I've never solved a Tetris cube in my life. Well, here, I is less than what I want to. So what I want to iterate through is it's the flying enemies on slots, right? Nick, have you tried to solving it? Yeah, but it's two colors. Okay. Okay, so here ring index higher than the current one. So I'm gonna get it from the ring index that count, or no, it's length. I always I always confuse this as if they were a list, but they are an array. And here ring index plus one. That's right. No, because if I use ring index, well, ring index plus one needs to be more, or sorry, less than the ring count. Yeah, that's it. So ring index plus one, I get the length of that, and I plus plus. And need to say it's 6 by 6. So I can just simply have a matching pattern because 2 else takes up 4. Ooh, complicated. The other day I saw like a short of someone solving a Rubik's cube. It took like, I don't know, hours and hours for him to solve them, to solve it. But the cool thing about it is he didn't really looked up how to solve it. He just like tried to solve it himself, like figure out the puzzle himself instead of like watching how to solve it on YouTube or something. Okay, so now that I get a valid, okay, yeah, I need to get a valid one from here. So it's gonna be flying enemies on slots, ring index plus one, and here the index is gonna be I. Okay, if that is what? If that is not null, so there's an enemy there, then what do I want to do? Valid enemy on a ring index higher than the current one. Okay. If that happens, then I want to do this. So let's do this. And need to say I tried the same, gave up, and now can solve a cube under a minute. Wow. Not really counting though. Just about under 1 minute. Still very impressive. Very impressive. I had some friends on when I was back in school. They were like obsessed with Rubik's Cube. They like it was basically all they did, and they were doing it like in a minute or less. Okay, so remove that enemy from the flying enemies on slots. So I'm gonna grab the flying enemies on slots, the current index that we are checking against. So ring index plus one, and I equals what? Basically, I'm gonna set it to null. So it's no longer going to, yeah, no longer going to have anything there. But I need to update on, yeah, I need to say now to that flying enemies on slots, ring index plus one, I, or I could store this enemy before doing anything with it. I solved it. W. So compared to the other cubes, which one is more difficult? The L one or other ones? I don't know. How many are there? I know there are some pretty crazy ones. Like the normal one is just like 3 by 3. But the other ones are like, I don't know. There's some pretty crazy ones. I've seen some pyramids too, like they are a triangle. And Priyan says, or Priyan Chumina, I hope I'm not butchering your name. You say how many people are watching you from another stream other than YouTube? Uh, I wouldn't say like I hope no one because I'm not running running a stream anywhere else than YouTube. But welcome to the stream, Priyan. Welcome, welcome. So if you are, um, yeah, maybe you're asking that because you're on the vertical stream. Yeah, so there's other people on the horizontal stream, and if you join the horizontal stream that's on my channel, you get your own avatar, and it's gonna appear there on the stream too. It's pretty cool. Okay, so in here, well, I want to probably have a function on the flying enemy brain to tell it to update its air slot. So I'm gonna call it public void set air slot. And here I wanna give him, well, just the two variables here. So it's gonna be, I'm gonna need to pass two ints. So first the air slot index and the ring index, and I'm just passing it here as yeah, I'm just overriding those air slot index or assigning those air slot index like that, and here ring index equals ring index, so I can call it from here. And need to say the worst ones are the different shape ones. 4x4s and above are basically the same. They just take longer. Okay, okay. 4x4s. I would never have guessed that was uh, more difficult to solve. Okay, here. What do I want to do? I want to tell the. I want to tell this to basically grab. Yeah, I'm gonna grab the ring index and the air slot index is gonna be equal to flying enemies on slots ring index plus one and I. So like this, I'm just going to move the comments for a little bit. And Priyan, you say, can I ask you something if you don't mind? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. And need to say, a 12x12 looks impressive, but it's basically a 5x5 that takes longer. Bad game design. Yeah, I don't know. They look very, very impressive. Maybe it's not that impressive to someone that has solved them. Okay, so flying enemies on slots. I set it to null, but also, yeah, so now I'm gonna get the flying enemies on slots, ring index, and earth slot index, and I'm gonna tell it set air slot, and I just pass the ring index and the air slot index. That's it. So now let's put the comments back, so we know what we're doing here. First is just making the slot that was null to the set that was null to the and Priyan, you say, how can you be so consistent? I have been watching you from last few months. Oh, you have. Well, thank you. First of all, thank you. I don't know. I think let me think about something that can help you first. Let me give it a proper thought. How can you be more consistent? For me, consistency starts with, and this is what worked for me, and I hope that works for you. Consistency starts with knowing what are your priorities. So, and also have a schedule around them. Like, for example, I don't know what point in life are you, but let's say you have school and you can choose to do whatever you like in the morning before school or in the like after school, do whatever. depending on when you have more energy, like you have to prioritize using that block before or after school to like just block it out. All your days are going to be looking the same. It's just you always know at that time you need to be doing something. Um, so yeah, just knowing what you have to do helps. And now consistency is like try to be flexible with the amount of work you put into this stuff. Like it's some if something is very important to you, like try to not and if especially if it's a new habit for you, try to make it easy to start with. Like for example, when I started working out 6 years ago, the first thing that I did was not like doing an hour long workout or an hour and a half long workout. Was like basically try to do 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 6 days a week. And then when you have the habit instilled in you and in your routine and it works for you, then you can start like adding to that. But like if you can get something from from this, is like start very small because you're going to make more progress in a small time frame if you keep with it, like if you're consistent with it, than you would ever do with a very long block of work that you're not going to follow through. So yeah, I hope that can help you a little bit with being a little bit more consistent. And you're going to fail sometimes, but you're going to get better and better and fail less often and less often. But yeah, fail, it's always a constant. So don't feel worried about it. And need to say, I feel called out. Nothing to feel called out. Like nothing to feel called out about. Okay, so making the slots that was known to the available enemy on the higher ring. Then here, flying enemies on slots, ring index equal no setting the available enemy to null on reassigning. Or sorry, this is just yeah, reassigning ring index on air slot index in the enemy. So that's it. I think that's it. Now we can try that, and I don't think we should get any errors. Let me highlight this just so you can see this better. Let's save and let's try this out. I have the feeling that when I look to the camera, maybe you can't, like the microphone doesn't pick up my voice as well. Is that real or am I just hallucinating? Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna spawn some enemies here just to try this out because it's gonna be pretty annoying to try and get this to work in a normal wave, but it should work. Well, we'll see. We'll see. So here, let's put just 3 enemies here. And let's press play. I'm just hallucinating? Well, that's good then. Thank you for confirming. Okay, so I'm gonna duplicate these enemies a bunch of times so they get to the other ring, the one that's on top. Where are they? Where are they? Yeah, they're here. So let's duplicate them a bunch of times. And index out of range exception. Okay. Now, where is that? Need you say, I don't know, but every time I join your stream, I need to put you on full volume, -1, and then just and then get jump scared if I click off or the stream ends. Um, well, here in OBS, it tells me I'm on the yellow range, so I should be, I don't know, have pretty decent volume. And Priyan, you say voice is damn clear. Well, that's a very great. Okay, so I'm getting an error here. Get air slot position. So ring index and air slot index. Transform that position. Why could that be? Why could that be? Get air slot position. I wouldn't. Well, what if I just comment what we just did here to see if it's related? Because if I comment this, like this is not going to run. If it's still throwing the error is not there then. Let's duplicate it. Okay, yeah, the error should be there because I commented it and there's no more errors being thrown. So good to know, good to know. Yeah, let's uncomment this and yeah, somewhere here, probably I am assigning something that is outside of the bounds of the array. So here, ring index +1 is less than ring count. So for example, if I'm on the second index, or it should be 1 + 1 is going to be 2, and 2 is not less than 2 because ring count is 2. So this is not going to get called from the upper ring, but it will get called from, well, let's see, because I don't know why is it throwing an error, but I'm going to put this back here so it doesn't, like, so just they are a little bit separated, or yeah, let's put it like this, but I'm gonna have a little bit more space just so I can read it like more clearly. Each step is separated. I think it's the problem with the indexes, like nothing more, nothing less than that. Here, because here, all I'm doing here is saying, okay, is it like, do I have any enemy on the top ring? If I have an enemy that is not null, so there's something there, I'm gonna assign that something to the one that I just make empty. So that's not going to be empty anymore, not going to be null anymore. Then what I just called here, I'm gonna set that to null, so it shouldn't be on both positions. And then I'm going to update the air slot to the new values for ring index and air slot index. And here did I call? Okay, here is the problem. I called this in reverse order. So let's go into, because it makes sense to just use ring index first and then air slot index first. But I did the opposite, or I put them in reverse in in the function from flying enemy's brain or flying enemy brain. Here you can see I do air slot index first. So I'm just going to cut this from here. And then air slot index. Yeah, so it's going to be first ring index and air slot index. And I'm going to change the order here too. So yeah, here you can see I had been calling this with ring index first and air slot index. So now it should be good. Because yeah, who knows what value was I assigning in air slot index. Okay, now let me do the duplication again. Where are these guys? Yeah, here. So, okay, problem. Yeah, is there any problem with the debugs? No. Mm, yeah, the problem is, well, the cool thing about having this very isolated is that I don't need to care about anything else but this. So when anything breaks, it's here. Okay, FEBS is null. So only when that's null, that's a good check. Now, ring index plus 1 is less than ring count. So this is going to let me see. Because if I run this on, yeah, I'm checking for the one that's up. I'm doing the let's recapitulate like what is happening when an enemy dies in the first ring in the one that it can attack. So there's like one ring and two ring and second ring. So when an enemy in the first ring dies, I'm going to tell it basically get assigned to null. So FEBS is always going to be set to null when this gets called. Well, at least that's the way it works now. Or it has been, the only times I'm calling this function, I'm calling it with null. So yeah, here FEBS is null, so this will always be true in the instances that I call this. Now ring index plus 1, I'm going to call this from, yeah, if I call this from index 1, that's the upper ring, it's gonna do 1 plus 1 equals 2. So 2 is not less than 2, so this shouldn't run. But it should run on the inner ring, so on the lower one, because it's gonna be 0 plus 1 is 1, and 1 is less than 2, so this should run. Okay, now we can get, I'm gonna do a check here. This runs. Like, I'm just gonna write this runs. Because we can just be, like, we can just go line by line, making sure that each line is not breaking the code. And that one guy is here and says, hello, what's up, that one guy? Welcome to the stream. How is it going? Merry Christmas Eve is for you, if that is the thing. Because I don't know if you say Merry Christmas Eve or just Merry Christmas when it is. But yeah. Okay, so now when this runs, I is less, or sorry, I start with 0, and I'm filtering through the ring index plus 1 length. So this is going to be, in case of 0, it's going to be 1. Here is 1. So I'm checking the upper ring and the length of that. For the length of that, I'm going to be doing this iteration. So this runs too. And I'm going to probably pick another color. So I can do, let me see. Is there there's a bunch of colors and stuff that I can use for this. Like we have red too. We have this percentage. No, this one. I think I'm going to use this one. So this runs, and here the same. Okay, now let's move on to this. Let's move on to this. Flying enemies on slots. Ring index +1. We already checked. This is what we're trying to do. For each one of those, I'm going to select ring index +1 and I. If that is not null, and I'm going to say this runs too, this runs. And for now, just let me see if so far there are no errors being thrown. Okay, so far when I duplicate these guys, I shouldn't get any exception or any error of any kind. So let me duplicate them. Okay, yeah, the same behavior, no problems. The problem, I think, comes after that. So, let's go and get back in there. Let's get back in there. Yeah, let's uncomment line by line. First, I'm making that the slot that was null to be available enemy to the available enemy script on the higher ring. Script on the higher ring. Okay, so this is just grabbing the one that I just did null. So this is null now. Ring index. This should be null because I just reset it here to null. And I checked it, it's null. So now I'm setting it to be whatever script is in the flying enemies on slots and the ring index +1 and I. So that's the thing that we just checked is not null. Now, I think that should run. Let's just do a test run with that. And Oxor says, "Hi, what's up, Oxor? Welcome to the stream. How is it going?" Yeah, let's see. So if I duplicate these guys, I shouldn't get an error. It's gonna probably behave very weirdly, but I shouldn't get an error. Okay. No error, it seems. Yeah, weird behavior, but not any type of error. So we can say this runs. Yeah, this runs. Now let me give it a space here so it's a little bit more separated. Now, about setting this one to null, I don't think this one is going to throw me an error either. So ring index +1 I is null. Just setting the one that was like the top slot is going to be set to null. So new enemies can go there. And let's see, this shouldn't throw me an error either. So I think if this doesn't throw me an error, then it should be the last line. Okay, no errors in the console. Just weird behavior, which is okay. So now, the last part of this, here is where I'm getting the error. Then, so I'm just gonna delete the comments everywhere else for these runs. And I'm going to just, yeah, let's make this. Let's grab this. I'm just gonna grab this and make it not highlighted. Like this. Okay, now here is the problem. What am I doing exactly here? So I'm telling the enemy that I just set. So here, air slot index, that's set air slot. And that's throwing me an error. That is throwing me an error. And why is that? I set it to ring index and air slot index. Let's go back to set air slots. So what is set air slot doing? It's just doing ring index and air slot index. And here I'm using a ring index and air slot index. No problem with that. Okay, let's give it another try. And let's check where the error is gonna be thrown. Because we already tested this, like it's going to throw an error. Not sure why. But yeah, it just works very weird. Yeah, no error either. No error either. Okay, maybe I need to make. Let's revise that. First, yeah, I assigned it here. And it should be null. Get a valid enemy on a rank index higher than the current one. I'm filtering through the length. I'm just going to do a debug.log to see what are the values of these two things. So debug.log here. Oh, I think why. I think I know why. Because I'm never breaking from this loop. I'm never breaking from this loop. So break. That could be it. Like I'm just doing that, and next time I next floor, like the floor continues. So I'm never breaking and never escaping that loop until I get to the end. So let's see. Let's duplicate these guys. Yeah. Okay. Weird behavior still. Still we get weird behavior. And need to say, don't break the loop, reuse it, recycle. I need to start recycling. It's good for the world. Yeah, whenever I set to null. Well, I think I know why now. I know why, because it's not this function is not only being called on death, and I assumed it was, but it's being called when the enemy is far away from its target. It's going to try to get a newer, closer target. So when I do the unassigned, I'm doing that. So let's see. Um, so I should call this on death. Yeah. So I could specify bool on death call, and I'm gonna say it's false, but I'm gonna do and on death call. Because I only need to do this when the player dies, because otherwise they are always going to be like trying to get up and up and up. I guess. Well, they should try to get they should try to get to the lower end or the lower ring. Let me just write that at the enemy health. I do reset air slot, and on reset air slot, let's go in there. Player air slots, flying enemy brain on reset air slot. Set air slot FPS on death call. On death call. Or yeah, this is true. What now? Let's try again. Yeah, but it's very weird because I would guess they would try to go down instead of up. Okay. What if I delete one of those? It works. It does work. So you see, that's what I was trying to achieve. When I kill an enemy here, it's gonna send a signal to an enemy from up top. So it's gonna replace it. So if I kill this enemy here, then it's gonna get replaced there. That's awesome. That's awesome, to be honest. Now, let me just try to see how it works on a bigger scale. Gotta get sign again. You see? Oh, one thing that I wanted to do too is on here. Let's configure the on player air slots, the amount of slots there are on each radius. So I don't want to have that many. And another thing I could do is I could have three rings instead of two. Yeah. So they are just a little bit more radius each time. But let's first try to have, I don't know, how many enemies should be on the inner circle? You say, Nick, why? I don't know. I just thought maybe having another one would make more sense. But yeah, let's first try to limit the amount of enemies that are going to be in the inner ring. So in the inner ring, let's say there could be, instead of just 12 or 12 maximum, there could be 10 maximum. So there's more space for them. Like that's it's gonna be even sillier. Yeah, so there's more space for them. But still there should be yeah, first let me commit this to GitHub so we can break it. Or so rather, so we don't break it now, and we can, and if we do anything that breaks it, we can go back. Yeah, so I just want 10 positions here. 10 positions here. And let's do this. So flying enemy. See, and there we have it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'll have to change the I'll have to change this here. So let's go to player air slots. And in here, if there are 2 enemies, like 1 to 2 enemies, just one of them will fire. If there are here 3 to 5, they're going to 2 of them will fire. And this is really, yeah, 3 to 5, 2 will fire. Then we have case 6 to 8 or 6 to 9. 6 to 9, 3 of them will fire, and if you have 10, they will fire 4. Yeah, that I think I like that. So now let's save this. Yeah, let's save it. Let's just try one more time that this is not breaking, or there's no errors anywhere. Well, I still have to try to spawn them. Okay, but what if I kill an enemy that's on top, like that? There. Yeah, no problems. Now let me just get rid of. Let me get rid of these comments because I was doing some debugging before. No longer need this. And also, yeah, I don't know how much bigger we should make the collider for these guys. I think this amount is okay, but I want to do something else too. If I go to player air slots, I would like the second ring to have just a little bit more space, just a little bit more offset from the other ring. So instead of 4, I'm gonna do 5. Like enemy, and also we should try them. Now they can spawn on a wave, so we should try them. Yeah, let's see. Let's go into player air spots. Let's do more separation. Let's say 8. What about 8? I think, yeah, this is not going to work unless I run it first, because that only happens on startup. So let's try this here. I think that looks a little bit better. That looks a little bit better. Here, I'm gonna make the radius just a little bit larger too. Let's see, player air slots just a little bit larger. 10 of radius. Now let's just play. Now flying enemy, let's duplicate them. I think that's better. It's better, so they are a little bit more separated, and you can fire at both of them like more cleanly. Okay, now that that is done, I'm just going to, yeah, let's see how it looks on a wave. Let's see how it looks on a wave. Because that's what we did yesterday too. Like we made them be part of like first be object pulled, so they're using object pulling, and also they are appearing on the waves. Yeah, I don't know about the spawning. They seem to have a little bit of trouble. I checked sometimes. They seem to have had a little bit of trouble when spawning. but it doesn't seem to be affecting them here. Yeah, you see? Okay, I like it. I think they should be a little bit weaker. Maybe spawn less often. But we can tweak that. Well, when you give me your feedback and whatever, we can tweak it together. Yeah, that's it. Let me just try one more time to check the replacing of enemies is working. Yeah, because here it didn't really get like, oh, no enemy goes. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, yeah, no more playing. Let's do a commit for these changes. Where is my GitHub? Okay, here. Yeah, flying enemies, object pulling, subwave integration. Oh, okay. Flying enemies on those before. Plus, yeah, so I'm gonna put this right here. The enemies, or when a flying enemy on a ring gets killed, um if there's an enemy on an upper ring available, it will go there and switch places with the one that just died. So that's good. Now let's commit 10 files to main. What I was seeing yesterday with the problems of spawning, I don't know. I don't know what happened, but they were not really spawning correctly. I thought of having some sort of a special way for them to spawn. They shouldn't spawn on the ground like the other enemies are spawning. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Let's see. On Notion, we can go and check this from the tasks, from the to do. Like every time I enter to this task, instead of checking boxes, I just create new ones. But I guess there's no more boxes to add anymore. So creating a spawning function that works for flying enemies, yeah, that was exactly what I was talking about. Like just creating a new function that works better for flying enemies because they work now. The normal one works now, but I don't know. It could be better. Now make the enemies that are not in the inner ring be more dispersed. Yeah, that's what that I was. That's what I was. Uh, that's what I was thinking too. So I'm gonna switch this task from here, more priority to this task. So let's make the enemies feel more random. So let's see. Let's go into. Well, this is gonna be part of the brain of the enemy. That's gonna tell it where to go. So The movement just moves it, but the brain makes it like tells it where to go. What is this? Yes, horde to get new positions, and I'll have well, I could do target. I'm gonna call this like something like target offset. Let's do this header target offset, and I'll do serialized field private. This is gonna be a float, and it's gonna be well. I need a value that's just going to be a number that tells me how how much distance there there could be on the the offset, you know? So it's gonna be offset offset max distance. That seems like a good name. Now I need a timer private to change this here. So it's gonna be float offset, or yeah, it's gonna be change offset timer, and I'll just put it there. And I'll have two variables too that are going to be serialized field, private float. It's going to be offset timer max, offset or change offset timer max, and I'll need the minimum too. Minimum. I'm gonna put the minimum first, and let's do every 0.25. Or no, I think it could be every 0.2. Every 0.2 and 0. Every 0.6. And we can change that because it's a serialized field, or yeah, it's a serialized variable. Why are you not there on the screen when you like you just spawned? I don't know where like why? That's the most bumping. Dude, I miss the being able to just type mass bomb to have multiple bombs in here. It was fun. Yeah, let's put this back here. Okay, so in here, yeah, I have the offset max timer, but I also need a vector. So that vector is gonna be private vector 3 offset, or yeah, target offset. And Nikki say I wasn't there because the timer ran out and I despawned. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Okay, so in here, let's see. I'm gonna have just a function that just takes care of that target offset. It's gonna be private void calculate target offset, and probably I should have a larger target offset for the ones that are in outer rings. So yeah, let's do this. If the error slot index is more than 0, I'm gonna do it. Otherwise, I don't. Because if the enemy is on the inner ring, it should be more should be snapping, almost snapping on position. Or I could just do, yeah, I'll see what I do about it. I'm not going to not have any offset. So let's see. I'm gonna have a timer first of all. So here, timer, change offset timer, minus equals time that fixed delta time. Because I'm gonna be running this on fixed update. Oh, and I forgot. Yeah, I am running this on update. I am running, yeah, because I would have to override everything. Like I'm inheriting from something that is using update. I would have to change it there too. So for now, I'm just gonna use delta time. But I promise to TC that I'm going to be using fixed update for everything from here, from now on. Okay, so here change offset timer is less or equal to 0. When that happens, first I want to make sure I am resetting the timer. So it's going to be setting a random range between the minimum and the maximum time that can pass. So change time, change offset timer minimum, and change offset timer maximum, like that. Yeah, so what do I want to do in here? It's just going to be grab the target, or yeah, I'm going to grab the target offset, and I'm going to do X. I'm gonna grab the X, and it's gonna be just random that range from the minimum is gonna be 0, and the maximum is gonna be change. Well, it could be target offset. Yeah, it's gonna be target offset, right? Target offset. Yeah, that's not it, because that's a vector. How did I call this? It's offset max distance. Offset max distance. And I'm basically going to do the same for X, Y, and Z. X, Y, and Z. Now, this is just going to get random values between 0 and the maximum for the offset for X, Y, and Z. And what I want to do with that is just setting the target plus the offset. That's my real target, the target plus the offset. So where am I setting the target? Here. Flying enemy movement set target position is going to be that plus target offset. So let's see. Yeah, since we're still trying stuff with the flying enemies, I should probably have some to try stuff. So I'm not going to delete them until we're done with them. Like we're done with all the tasks related to flying enemies. Oh, and I didn't set the max distance. Let's say the max distance is 1. And why are these 3 enemies and they are firing twice? What is the target offset in this? Let's put this into debug mode. And the brain, let's see the target offset. Yeah, the target offset is 0. Oh, I know why. I'm a dumbass. I'm not running this. Yeah, I'm not even calling calculate target offset. So it needs to be here. After all, after everything else happens, or no, it should happen before the base updates. There. So if I'm trying to get an air slot, I need to have what the target offset is beforehand. Yeah, let me check what the target offset is. 0. It's 0 on everyone. So no offset. It just reminds me of the Megamind meme. No offset. Okay, so here, yeah, target offset is not changing. Target offset is not changing. And why is that? If air slot index is no, here it is. Change offset timer. Yeah, and change offset timer is less or equal to 0. I'm saying this to change offset timer minimum, maximum. Is this even running? Let me do a debug here. Debug.log change offset timer called at and I'm just going to use time here. Time. Let me put the currency sign there so it runs as code. Yeah, it is being called. It is being called, but I don't see the target offset changing. Anywhere. I don't know. Oh yeah, this thing. There is still a problem where like the flying enemies spawn right there. Why are they spawning there? Not sure. Well, I guess that's the default position for spawning, but why should they be using that? What if I just assign a target? Oh well, it's not serialized, so I can't assign it. But yeah, this target offset is not getting different. Yeah, the max distance. Oh, yeah, because max distance is not assigned either. What a dumbass I am. Let's see. If I assign it, I need to go into. Well, let's first put this into normal again, and let's make the on the brain the target offset. The offset max distance is going to be 1. So now we should get some different values here. Okay, so if I get here. Okay, yeah, what I will do is here I'll have First, I'll check. Here, offset distance, offset max distance is going to be multiplied by the index in which they are, probably. So it's gonna be 0 or -1 even. Hmm. Yeah, I think that's good. So if I multiply them by... Well, I don't really want to multiply them, because I could get very silly behavior if I choose to have more rings in future. So I'll just do... okay, I'll just do another variable float offset in equals offset max distance, and if the... and this probably should be... the offset max distance should be a constant, but I need to change it for... well, let's see. Can I have a global serializable? No. The name global does not exist in the current context. Okay. Constant. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. I'm gonna tweak it manually. Okay, offset max distance. Let's do 1 at first. Let's go in here. Yeah, so here, let's see, offset. Mm, Yeah, so I want to do just replace this with the offset variable, offset local variable. And here, I'm going to multiply or set offset if the airslot index is more... or yeah, it's less than 0, less or equal than 0. I'm gonna say the offset is gonna be, yeah, basically 0. Yeah, what I want to do is in here, instead of doing that, I'm gonna start the offset 0, and if it's more than 0, I'm gonna tell it, okay, I want the offset to be this offset max distance. So now the only enemies that will have an offset are the ones that are in the upper ring or more, not the ones in the inner ring. The inner ring are going to be like pretty snappy. Okay, let's do that. Let's duplicate them. Yeah, let me just play it, and I'm gonna duplicate these enemies. If I get here, okay, I think I could do... I'm gonna grab every single one of them, and I'm gonna set the offset, the max distance of the offset to 3 instead of 1, and I'm gonna make that they try and get a new offset every 0.2 seconds to 0.4. There are some enemies that just don't care about it. Like, they just stay in the same position. Why are they... I don't understand why they are not... Or why the inner ring enemies are being affected by this. Nick say, oh god, do you want people to hate these guys? Some, yeah, a little bit, but not that much. So what I want to change is now, because if I leave them like this, no one will be able to deal with them. Yeah, I don't know why, but I was trying to make that the enemies that are in the inner ring, so the ones that are attacking you, are not going to move like that. Just the enemies that are up top, they can't fire at you, and you shouldn't care that much about them because, like, they are pretty hard to fire anyway. Fire at anyway. You should be more concerned about the ones that you have on your face. So yeah, let's go back there. And yeah, for offset, I have 0. So why is from range 0 to 0? I guess I could just do offset. I'm gonna do this, delete offset max distance. Here, I'm just gonna, before doing any of this, I'm just gonna check if the air slot index is less than 0 or less or equal to 0. I'm just going to return. So this should happen for enemies that are that have an air slot index, and this, oh yeah, I remember, I know why. So this is for this is a ring index, not an air slot index. So I guess I could go back to what I had and just change, instead of air slot index, to ring index, because that was a mistake. So here, ring index, because the air slot index is just the position in the ring, and the ring index is which ring it is. So if I go here, let me set the max distance to, let's say, 4. And I'm gonna duplicate these guys a bunch of times. You see? Now they're like just going to random places there. And they move a lot. I guess I don't want them to move that fast. So they're... I'm gonna put here the offset timer for this guy is gonna be 1 to... or no, actually let's just do 0.5 to 2 seconds or 3 seconds. You know, so they are like watching what's happening with the with you. They're like peeping at the fight. So if I kill one of these guys, one is gonna take its place. Yeah, one takes its place, and the only ones that move like that are the ones on top. And I guess I could also, yeah, let's apply these changes. Let's go to flying enemy and offset max distance. Let's do a 4, and this is gonna be 0.5 to 3 seconds. No, what else? What else? I'm gonna set target position time to be 3 to 8 or 3 to 7. And the hovering, I think I want a little bit more hover. So it's gonna be on the movement. The hover is on the movement. So let's do amplitude minimum and amplitude maximum. Let's do a 3 of minimum and 7 of maximum. And same thing for this, 6, 3, and 7. Now, I didn't check these values or try them, so I hope it's not very, very weird. Okay, it's all right. It's all right. And what if I bring these guys up? Yeah, they can get very, very far away. They're just going to move like that. Yeah, I think I like them. Gonna make a couple more. So let's see. Yeah, I want to see how it looks when the spaces are complete. Yeah, how many spaces do we have? I don't know which one is being occupied. Let's do some more flying enemies. How many do we have? I have 32, so it's 10 plus 20. There should be 2 that are just floating there. Yeah, there they are. But they have an offset, so they should move from time to time. Right? No. Yeah, they are not moving because the offset is not applied if they are less, and they are currently -1. So I'm gonna tweak that so it's only if they are on the first index. Because if they don't have anything to follow, they should move anyway, rotate anyway. What do you think, Nick? Are they fine now? At least for me, they're fine. Yeah, still, I don't think it's gonna be very likely that you find that many enemies like that. To be honest, it's gonna be weird that you get to the second ring. But if you do, well, there they are. Now, let's do this. Let's do... if ring index does not equal 0, that's it. Okay, I think that's good. Now, I'll save this. I'll save this in here. To flying enemy, let's first check this. Make the enemies that are not in the inner ring be more dispersed. Okay, here, let's bring GitHub desktop to here. Well, where's GitHub? Here. And yeah, make the flying enemies more dispersed. Is that a correct the correct word? I hope so. um, get more get dispersed. Yeah, I'm gonna title this "Make the flying enemies get dispersed." So now the enemies, oh, no, the flying enemies that are not on the inner ring are going to have an offset from their target, so they get more dispersed. And Seb is here, says, "Yo, what's up, Seb? Welcome to the stream. How is it going? Merry Christmas Eve for you." So here now the flying enemies that are not in the inner ring are going to be have an offset from their target, so they get more dispersed. Now what else did we do? I tweaked something, and Mijo, you say it's Christmas here now. Well, Merry Christmas then to you, Mijo. Merry Christmas. I hope you have a wonderful day or a wonderful Christmas. Yeah, because what time is it there? I think well, I start 10 and a half, so plus an hour and a half, it's 12:10 or something like that. And Seb, you say, I got on Alexa. Yeah, cool stuff, cool stuff. Mijo, you say, there be fireworks outside, 12:05. There are gonna be fireworks? Nice. Yeah, I love fireworks. Fireworks are super, super cool. In here in Chile, like we used to have fireworks, but like people will get upset because like they have animals and stuff like that. They get very very mad. I don't know how to say it, to describe it, but they get very annoyed with the fireworks. So yeah, no more fireworks, which is honestly it's just one time a year. It's a little bit sad, and I have pets too. Say yeah, I meant Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, mijo. I hope you have fun with the holiday. Um, okay, so what else did I do? I tweak the enemies, the flying enemies, to have slower reaction times. Slower reaction times to move to target. Sweet. Now commit two files to main and push to origin. And Seti say, "Oh, I forgot to say Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to y'all." And yeah, I don't know. I think for Nick, it's still not Christmas because I don't know how many hours we are behind. 'Cause here it's just it's 3:36 p.m. For Nick. It should be something like 5 hours more. So yeah, something like 8. I don't know. You can tell me. Okay, so here, let's see. Create a spawning function that works for flying enemies. And today, probably I will end the stream soon. Probably gonna do one or two more tasks before I end the stream, so I can go chill with my family because my family took time off from work and stuff to like basically be together. So I'm gonna do the same thing. Instead, you say for me it's 7 p.m. Oh, 7 p.m. You're already celebrating uh Christmas? You already celebrating? Well, it depends uh on uh on customs and stuff. At what time it gets celebrated. Yes. Oh, cool. Cool. I didn't know. Yeah, because here normally it gets celebrated since they're since well the priority the priority or yeah the persons that get most more priority here are the children. So we celebrate it like at 10 p.m. So children can be awake at a decent time, you know, or at least they give them the presents at that time, so they can have fun with their presents before it's like 12, and they get to sleep. Okay, so let's see. Create a spawning function that works for flying enemies. Yeah, I think that I'm gonna delete this and I'm gonna put it as another task separated. So create spawning function for flying enemies or specific uh, for flying enemies. And it's going to be programming here. And let's move it out of the way because I think how many days were we stuck with this task here? I don't know how many days, but I think it was something between three. No, I think it was like 4 to 6 days we were doing the flying enemies. So let's move it. It is complete, technically complete. There are some stuff that is related to them still, but we have finished the flying enemy, so that's very very good. And now, yeah, I said maybe in 2 to 4 weeks. I think I said it last week. Maybe in 2 to 4 weeks we would have version 0.2. But for version 0.2 of these games to be ready, I need to do all of these tasks. So there are 17 of them. Yeah, but first, let's see. Let's read. Let's read. Well, I'm gonna throw some of these tasks to do instead of doing, so I can just know um what I care about doing now. Okay, so we have create a spawning function specific for flying enemies. I think I'm gonna leave that for later. Now, flying enemies sometimes get materials stuck on white or okay, yeah. I want to fix that because I've noticed that on flying enemies and Sebusai, what app is that to do list called? Is Notion. I'm gonna write it down here so you can search it up. Yeah, Notion, as Nick wrote it there. So yeah, very very helpful. And if you check the first link in the description on Ko-fi, you can go and find a template. Oh, like yeah, this template that I have here for basically everything. I think the only thing that the template doesn't have is the feedback column, but you can create it yourself and you can add or delete the ones that you don't need, and you can change the colors as well. So yeah, if you are new to Notion, I would suggest you getting that template. It's of course it's free, so uh, there it is if you want to check it out. Um, yeah. So on issues, I don't think there's anything that has a priority here. So I'm gonna fix that, the animation or the color fix for the animations, the death animation and the on the receive damage animation. And need to say, its privacy policy allows the company to read literally anything you write there and use it for its AI. Nothing is private anymore. Yay. Well, I'm using the free version. I guess I am the product. I am the product. If I'm not paying, I'm the product then. They're getting my data. Well, it's pretty helpful. I don't mind them getting my data. To be honest, I don't have uh, anything too interesting happening here. Okay, so yeah, that create a spawning function specific for flying enemies. That can be set at the bottom. Make the flying enemies spawn less often. That should be a good tweak that I should care about now. And change the outside zone penalty for player damage that gets larger. Okay, yeah. That was I when did we talk about this? Like changing what the penalty of being outside of the zone is. I think could be last week or yeah, I think it was last week. So yeah, I'm gonna do flying or flying enemies related stuff first, and then I'm gonna do this. And I think I'm going to grab this one and leave it to do because today I probably will do just one more task or these three depending on how I feel. Uh so yeah, let's do or how much I take to do them. Here, flying enemies sometimes get material stuck on white or red on damage animation. And I said here, might be animations being overridden. Like, that's what I suspect. I don't know if that's it, but that's what I suspect. And we can try it out with these enemies here. I think it's because when I do tell them to fire at me, if I fire at them, uh, they basically, like, I override stuff. Yeah, I didn't get it to... Yeah, ChatGPT already knows everything about me, so why should I care about Notion? Yeah, I don't know, but some other time I saw the colors getting stuck. Like, now it doesn't seem to be a problem anymore. And yeah, these console logs probably won't keep them anymore. They're gonna be annoying if I keep them. And need to say technically they can't if you change the privacy settings, except when deleting chats. For real, ChatGPT knows more about me than my family. completely true. Yeah, more than anyone else, more than me even. Knows more about me than I know about myself. You say, Nick, if you delete it, they will read it to see if you didn't break it. Same. Yeah, so let's see if I go there to the place there. Yeah, don't delete ChatGPT chats, I guess. But it's not, you're not talking about the memory, right? You're just talking about the chats themselves. Yeah, what about temporary chats? Because I've been using that way more often now. Okay. Oh, there it was. I don't know if you noticed, but there was a moment where it got stuck on white material. Also, I think when I do these things, the color change, I'm not changing the color to everything, just the base. So let's go into flying enemies. And in here, I have to go into the animation, and I have to basically assign the rest of them, the rest of the MRs, the mesh renders. And where are they? Because there should be a list of mesh renders. Let's go into the animation. Privacy policy. Yeah, you're the only person to ever read that. Yeah, so let's go into let's pass ChatGPT the privacy policy of ChatGPT, and let's ask it to do a review of it. What am I searching for? I'm searching for the animation handler. Mm, yeah, I'm searching exactly for something in here, and that something is graphic MRs. Graphic MRs is protected. It's new match render. Okay, so I just need to assign the graphic MRs to whatever I want to change color. So you say TikTok's privacy policy. What privacy? What privacy? Yeah, that is like another level. And Arnav is here and says hi. What's up, Arnav? Welcome to the stream. It's good to have you here. Been a while. How is it going? Um, yeah. So in here, let's see. Let's see. Because I'm overriding the animation handler. Let's go here. What about the gambling privacy policy? That is completely private. Uh, well, it's gonna be registered on the streams, but whatever gambling you do, it's safe. Okay, so in here where I do, well, not the attack animation, but the initializing of mesh renders. That's where I should do this. So, let's see. Why don't I serialize this? My R, L. Yeah, you can gamble here. You can do exclamation mark slots, and yeah, you're gonna play the slots or do bet, and there's gonna be a roulette appearing. No, but for real, like it's everything is so silly and everything is just a joke. But just don't gamble with real money. If you want to gamble, gamble with virtual currency. Okay, gambling is dangerous. Like out of any joke, gambling is dangerous. Nick, uh, or not dangerous itself. It's for some people can get addicted to gambling and it can get to like very bad positions in life. So don't do it. And Nick, you say that wasn't mentioned earlier, but supposedly they have the data encrypted. But why would they keep it for 30 days for legal reasons? If it's worthless, that sounds sketchy. Yeah, it is sketchy. Like but I would say Meta, it's the epitome of stealing data. Like that Instagram, you can't even delete your account if you want. Like you have to wait for them to delete your account, and even then they don't really do anything. They are pretty scammy. They're scammy, and they're like a huge company. Huge company. They have Instagram, WhatsApp, they have Facebook. And Arnav, you say, I'm fine, man. How about you? Well, I'm glad you're fine, Arnav. And I'm very fine too. I'm very fine too. Merry Christmas Eve for you. I don't know if it's Christmas Eve or Christmas already for you, but whatever it is, Merry Christmas or Merry Christmas Eve. Yeah, gambling is a trap. Okay, so in here, I need to have basically a place where I can just assign the MRs if I want to. Mm, yeah, because I could do this here. Set the graphic MRs to serialized field like that. And if I'm overriding this stuff, there shouldn't be anything to worry about. And need to say, fortunately, nothing gets past the GDPR. If you're not in the EU, though, what's GDPR? Yeah, I'm not. I'm not in the EU. And me only say the countdown timer might need a disclaimer. And so it's a quick question: can you link ChatGPT to VS Code? I don't think so. I don't think so. There are other extensions for like AI based helpers or stuff, but I don't think ChatGPT directly. I know about Copilot, and I don't know if Cursor, maybe Cursor. There are also IDEs outside of VS Code and Visual Studio community that are like purely AI. Like AI is very like implemented into them. So if you're into something like that, yeah, there are some extensions. I just don't know if ChatGPT. I guess no. And Arnav, you say, "May your days be merry and bright." Thank you so much, Arnav. I hope the same for you. And need to say, European Data Protection Act. You can mail any company that collects your data and strong hand them to delete your data. And if they don't do it, they will get slapped by the EU. That's fair. That's fair. Say, Seb. All right, thanks. You're very welcome, Seb. So yeah, here. No, what is this really? What am I using else if I'm not doing anything? Detach. Oh yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I guess I don't need this. I don't need this. So I'm gonna comment this and yeah, here. Now if I go to the flying enemy, yeah, that is OP. Yeah, let's go into flying enemy, and here on animation, I should have a list of the MRs. So the MRs are gonna be. I have to set the. I have to start at one. Well, it will get overridden anyway, but eyes I have to put in here. And I don't know about the aura. Maybe the aura too. And here graphics like that, and it's just 4. So 4. Let's save this and let's see if nothing broke. Like if nothing got uh broken. Okay. You saw there that the color got stuck in white. And if okay, I'm gonna play this again just to see. My enemy. On the MRs on this enemy are what? Yeah, graphics, that's okay. Yeah, it's very hard to tell, but there are just some cases, specific cases, where the color just gets there. Like the color gets stuck in, I don't know, let's say white um, or red. And I would like to make this. I'm gonna use slow motion just to check. Okay, flying material. Yeah, this. There's a problem with this. Probably there's something that I have assigned that doesn't really have a mesh renderer, so it's gonna throw me an error. Now, if I go to the flying enemy, and it's probably the aura because I don't have a mesh renderer here, or do I? Yeah, I do have a mesh renderer. It's just that its material. I don't know if the material can be changed that easily because it's a custom material. Let me get it out of there. Let me get it out of there. And Arnav, you say, is the upper bar for stamina? No, there's no stamina in the game. It's just the upper one, the red one, is for health, and the lower one is for mana. So you need mana to cast the spells. Let me show you. Let me show you. Give me just 1 second. Here. Okay, graphic SR. I'm just gonna delete the aura. And let's see if I get any errors still. Yeah, so as you can see here, when I use a spell, then I use mana. For example, for this one, I use a lot of mana. And you see, I don't have enough mana to cast this spell again, for example. Yeah. There it is. So now you can see better. There are just instances where like it doesn't reset. It doesn't really do a reset. Very weird. So I would need to check when I'm calling this. And also, apart from where I'm calling this, I need to make sure that like override it then. And TC is here and says hello there. What's up, TC? Welcome to the stream. How is it going? I don't know where you what's your country or anything. So I'm gonna say Merry Christmas Eve or Merry Christmas depending on your time zone. Okay, so in here, yeah, if I init the mesh renderers, and at least I'm not getting errors. I think it was because I had a very weird. Say TC, you say, but also yes, Merry Christmas. So is it already? Is it already Christmas there? Or it's Christmas Eve? Okay, so yeah, I want to search the animation. Yeah, flying enemy animation handler. Say TC Christmas is Eve and day. So it's like the full. Like I don't know how it works, but here it's like, um, well before 12, like let's say, yeah, this whole day is like Christmas Eve, you know, and then 12, yeah, 12 happens like basically they changes and it's already like Christmas. And Arnav, you say, are you in USA? What time is it? It is. I am not in USA. I'm from Chile, in South America. So we have a difference in time. here, let me check. It's 4 and 2 p.m. That's the time in my country. Okay. You say, yeah, that's Eve. But why bother with having two holidays when you can just celebrate Christmas for 2 days straight? Fair. Very fair point. Not gonna even argue with that. Okay, so yeah, here on I'm searching for the received damage animation actually. And if I'm not overriding that animation, so that means maybe this is happening not only on the flying enemies but on other enemies too. And you always say hello, and Seb, you say I live in Germany. So what time is in Germany, Seb? Yeah, double the Christmas, double the fun. Okay, so I'm gonna open the animation handler and go to definition. Let's search for undamaged animation. So where could this go wrong? Uh, yeah, so I set every single color to white. Then I'm doing a scale. I'm just basically shrinking the enemy. And then I'm gonna make it grow again. So I guess, well, before doing this, I could search for, well, I could do um basically cancel the animation if it's already playing and play the new one. That's, yeah. And Xavier say now it's 8 p.m. Oh, so we have quite a difference in time. Yeah, quite a difference. 4 hours of difference. Okay. So here, before I do anything else, I'm gonna do if, basically checking if the entity graphics transform, and I need to check it with the do-tween library. So do-tween dot is twinning. So am I being animated now, or is this transform being animated now? Entity graphics D. If that is true, then I'm going to just do tween that like kill the animation. So if there is an animation playing, I'm gonna kill it, and then I'm going to play another one. So maybe that's gonna solve that problem. And it's very hard to replicate it, so I'll just have to try it a bunch of times. And TC, you say just have to do tween smooth override itself. And TC, you say Roman, you're overcomplicating this. There's a single call you can add to the do tween stack to restart it. Oh, but it's that I have not stored the tween. Like I'm not storing the tween. If I wanted to do the restart, don't I have to store it first? Because then I could call like tween dot restart, right? No. Uh, the tween is magic. The tween is life. Let's see. So in here you tell me to restart it. How? Restart or let's see. Do tween. I don't have to kill it, but I could just do tween dot restart. That like that. On the actual animation stack. Add it after on complete. But why would I make it restart on complete? This is just so if I call the damage animation um, when it's already happening, I just want the one that was playing to stop and play and start playing another time. Add it after incomplete. I don't understand, but I'm going to listen after incomplete. So here incomplete that restart. That's what you say. The twin really is magic. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna hear you. I'm gonna hear you. And I need to try to this a bunch of times because I don't really have a way to replicate this consistently. So I'm just gonna make a bunch of enemies. Make a multiplayer game with the twin. Okay, the twin is magic, but not not that magic. Okay, so if I damage enemies here, I'm just hoping one of them will get an error or will or won't. Also, another thing that I want to check. Let me go. Let me get closer to these guys. I would like to know if their eyes are changing color too. So let's see. It's very hard to see with all these gizmos. So I'm just gonna. Okay, let's do that. I'm gonna do slow mo. And let's do fireball. So yeah, the eyes are not changing color. And you say TC, the Twin 2 supports mirror and netcode for game objects. IIRC. It's coming. Multiplayer game with the Twin. Need to say, but that means you have to have netcode for game objects. That's not the Twin. Well, it supports it. Like, yeah, the Twin is not handling anything but animations. Oh, that was epic. You can. I didn't even know you could do this, but you can fire at a spell, and it will deactivate it. Support mirror netcode. Yeah. Okay. Let's try with this guy now. Yeah, it's just hard to tell if it worked or not. And yeah, I'm still not sure what this does. Restarts the twin from the beginning. Yeah, but what if I call it over it? Yeah, they do collide with each other. That's pretty cool. Yeah, the spells did collide. That was epic. And TC, you say, even I don't know the deep magics of the twin fully, you will need to read the documentation of restart. Might be that you need to restart both animations. I could just bring this up again. I could just do the kill, and I'm gonna call it anyway. I'm just killing the previous one. What I had here. Because I could just do kill. And I have to run it anyway. You know? So let's see if I get this restart out of this. I want to see if the problem triggers. Like, how can I consistently trigger it so I can check it? And need to say it's so annoying in slow motion. Why? Well, slow motion is not the best way to play it, honestly. Okay, so let's do one with a fireball. With the fireball, there could be sometimes where it gets stuck. No problem so far, and this is the code that I had before doing any changes to try and fix it. Yeah, the problem really is I don't know when does this error happen. So I don't know when to try and fix it, or there it was. Okay, yeah, I know at least it happened one time there. If I use restart now, let me just try it one more time with restart. I'm gonna make a bunch of enemies. And Ayuch is here and says, "Hello, sir. Hats off for off to your consistency. Thank you, Ayuch, and thank you for joining. Really appreciate it. And Merry Christmas or Merry Christmas Eve for you, depending on where you are." Okay, let's see. Let me duplicate these guys. So a bunch of them. Now let's fireball here. They're not getting stuck. Well, I guess it's harder for them to get stuck when I'm using that spell specifically. And I used to say Merry Christmas. I'm from India. Cool stuff. So you have, yeah, it's already Christmas there. I think it's close to, well, here we have like a lot of difference in time. So I start at 10:30. It's probably like 12 and a half there in India, right? I just asked Miho. Miho is from India too. He knows. So yeah, cool stuff. Okay, so I don't see the problem with restart now. Yeah, 12:45 a.m. here. Nice, pretty late. Or early. Just getting bombarded here because I'm trying something. I just want to see colors if they work now. Like, if they don't get stuck. Because they were getting stuck on either white or red before. That's what I want to see. And Miho say, I didn't know other people do what I do. Go to sleep. You're not the only one that's staying very late. Well, it's a special occasion too, right? Christmas. Yeah, I don't think I have seen the problem with the restart at the end of this. I will have to do my research because I don't really know why it's working. I just know TC said I could use it. I used it. It's working. I don't know why. So I'll have to do my research off stream to know why restart is working. Yeah, so for now, I think I can go into GitHub and here. And Miho say, I'm terrified. Need to gamble it away. And I just say, I was just going to bed, saw your live video, thought to wish you all very best for your project, and I'm impressed with your consistency. Well, thank you very much. It's very kind of you to join and pass to say hi. So I wish you rest very, very well, and see you next time. Bye bye. So I don't know if you're leaving the stream, because you said you were going to bed, so rest well, rest well. Okay, so here animation handler. Yeah, that's good. Now, let's write a comment for this. Fix materials getting stuck on white or red color on damage animation. And let me put them to capitals. DC, you say, Roman, if you can figure out why, if you can figure out why restart works, you will officially know more of the deep the twin magic that I do in this area alone. Yeah, I'm just new to the twin in general, so there's a lot of I don't know about the twin, but yeah, it's very powerful, very powerful. This is the first project that I started using the twin. It's incredible. It's incredible. I genuinely don't want to do normal animations now. I'm not touching the animator component anymore. No way. Okay, materials getting stuck on white, on white or red color on damage animation. Yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory title. Let's do commit 3 files and push to origin. Nick said you're also heavily overusing it. I'm terrified of your animation scripts. I might have I might have overused it a little bit on because I'm basically doing any animation here. Well, every animation here with the tween. But I don't know. I really like it. I really like it. I just disliked the normal way of doing animations before, and I didn't notice until I had another way to do it to do them. So yeah, a little bit. Okay, so let's go in here. Let's go Notion, and let's pass that task for from doing to done. Now we have 2 more tasks for today, and one of them is very extensive. So if we started today, I don't think we will finish it because I need to do a lot of things for that task, and that task is changing the outside of zone. Yeah, changing the penalty for being outside of the zone to basically getting you damaged. But that is not the complex part or what will take me more time. What will take me more time is probably finding sounds, finding uh, a cool visual effect, balancing, that kind of stuff, not the functionality itself. And make this the flying enemies spawn less often than humanoid enemies. Okay, that's another one that well, I don't want to do it today. So I'm gonna move it tomorrow. To tomorrow, but I'm gonna start doing this first. And well, if I do these 2 tasks, really, if I do these 2 tasks, I could have version 1. What version are we in? Version 0.1.3 it would be, I say. I'd guess. So yeah, if we have this, we could have 0.1.3, And well, there's a lot of things that need to happen before we have 0.2. Okay, change the outside of zone penalty for player damage that gets larger with time. Let's go into the wave manager because everything related to the waves is happening there. So let me close everything else and let's go there. Wave manager. Where's the wave manager? Here. And the wave manager is also, I think, connected with another thing. The entity spawner could be. But it's okay. It's okay. I think what I'll need is just mainly this. And probably we'll need to get a reference to the player so I can damage it. Um, tell the UI to have some effects happening. What else? Um, tell the post processing. Yeah, so I'm gonna open all of those scripts. So I need the post processing manager. I don't know about the UI. I'm not really sure about the UI. Probably not. Just post processing and game manager could be because I need to damage the player. So I need a reference to the player. And I think that's it. I think that's it. So those three. Let me find the. Let's do Control F, and I know I have something here called penalty, something like penalty. Penalty. So here, yeah, player outside of zone penalty. This looks awful, I know, but it's not that bad. Trust, trust. I'm just checking here if can spawn like just making a bunch of checks for if I can damage the player or have a penalty going on because I don't want to I don't want to damage the player if it's outside of a zone if there are no enemy spawning so it hasn't gone there or yeah because it needs to enter first before going out and get damaged. So yeah, let me do a quick recap of what's happening in here. So first we check can the can the zone spawn? That means has the player entered so the spawning can begin? And is the player in the spawn zone? False. So it is the wave has started and the player is not in the spawn zone. So or the zone really. I'm going to start um subtracting from time the delta time. And I know dude now every time I see delta time I get like flashbacks to TC telling me to use fixed update. But yeah, I told him, and I'm gonna stick to what I said. Whenever I have to use update again, I'm gonna use fixed update. But I'm not going to update everything now. Everything that I already have on update to fixed update for now. Okay, player outside of zone penalty is less or equal to 0. So what does that mean? It's just the timer. So this is the trigger for the countdown. The countdown gets to 0. I trigger this and I restart the timer or the countdown. So yeah, the first time I do is restarting the countdown. Then if enemy quota achieved is more than 0. Okay, here we will be doing something different. But let me explain what is happening here first. So I have an enemy quota achieved. So how many enemies you have killed so far. And I am subtracting from that. So you will have to kill more enemies. If you are, that's your penalty for being outside. Basically, you're going to have to kill more enemies. So more enemies will spawn then. So I guess I'm just going to get rid of this. This is the only place where I'm using this. This is the only place where I'm using this. Let's go here. I'm gonna bulldoze that stuff because I'm changing it. Yeah, so a bunch of errors going on because I just deleted something very important for the way that was happening. Enemy wills count, player outside of zone penalty. Yeah, and set call intensity. Yeah, I don't care about this then. I just have to do damage or damage the player. So, what will I have to do? Well, let's write some pseudo comments or so some pseudocode. So I can just have the functionality in terms of like defined in English and then do it in code. So first, I'm gonna put this to highlight the comment so you can see this. Okay, first thing is damaging the player. Like apply damage to the player. To well, no, actually, it's gonna be. Oh wait, yeah, because we have a timer. We have a timer. So I was about to say the player shouldn't instantly get penalized, but there should be some time before the penalization when it goes outside of the zone. So here, I want to apply damage to the player, and not only that, but I also would like to, well, as soon as the player is outside of the zone, as soon as we are outside of the zone, I'm gonna activate the post processing. And Nick, just like tonight, we dance around the flame. Then we get to play spirit game. Spirit names we shout out loud. Is that for real? Shake the thunder from the spirit cloud. That sounds very cult-like. That sounds very cult-like. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. No one to say what you're doing. Cult, like a cult activity. Something Mulgator would say. Well, dancing around the flame is not that bad, right? Right? What does shaking the thunder from the spirit cloud means? Yeah, Banana Man for Mulgator confirmed. Yeah, if you look into Banana Man, he is running cult. That's the secret. Um, yeah, that's why Nate likes that sound so much, or that music so much, that song. Uh, apply damage to the player. Yeah, I apply damage to the player, but also I think it's probably in here. If player in spawn zone equals false, but I would like to see when this gets changed. When does it get changed? Set player in spawn zone. Yeah, here. So if it's false, yeah, if it's false, I do this, and here I should have that thing happening, and I'm gonna put something red or something. I forgot how to do this sign here. It was a pretty cool. Like I want to paint it yellow, but I don't. Oh yeah, this one. This symbol makes it yellow. But actually, I think I'm gonna use this one. So here, call the And maybe yeah, I'm not going to remember where this is, so I'm just going to do a debug.log. You always say take it or else. No way. Debug.log. Um, yeah, I just basically want to say call the post or activate. Sorry, activate the penalization post processing effect, and in here player response on, player response and software started. Here would be deactivate the penalization. Um, yeah, so here, else. So if that's false, I'm gonna do this, and this is just a debug. So here, let's take it from here, like that. Okay, so I do the activation and deactivation of the penalization on the post-processing effect. Now, I need the post-processing effect first, and there should be some audio and stuff happening too. But first, let's damage the player. What nicked? You say, Roman, this banana for you is no offensive as per YouTube moderator review request. I'm not going to like it's just the same point that we always do. There's something always there's always something very silly that gets cancelled. It got sent for review. Yeah, something silly YouTube, silly YouTube. We just have to accept that YouTube is like that, and that is with the lowest level of moderation you can have. I think I could have no moderation at all. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I wouldn't mind. It's just text. What's text? Or what is text going to do to you? Nothing really. Okay. So the current set wave data is null. Yeah, not what I care about. Here, yeah, apply damage to the player. So how would we do that? I have a well, I have the player position here, but I should also get the player script, probably. And Miho say the AI did not look at context. He saw me mentioning giving bananas. Yeah, I think that's probably it. And Seb, you say I will go. Bye. Thank you for joining, Seb. It was a pleasure to have you here, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day and holidays. So take care and see you next time. Bye bye. Okay, so in here, I would like to have another thing. So it's gonna be public. It's gonna be player health. It's gonna be player health script. Player health script. Yeah, so I'll do, and I'm gonna call it, yeah, script. So it's gonna be get and private set. Banana. Banana. Okay, so in here, let's do the start. On the start, I wanna search player health script is gonna be equal to what? Game object that find, because I don't want, I could assign it, but I don't want to. So find um, player Or I could just find object with the player or with the player tag. Find with tag player, and here dot get component player health script, or yeah, player health, like that. And if player health script is null, then I'm going to debug that log player health script is missing, or was not found. Let's save. And yeah, that did not get sent for review. My bananas do not need to be reviewed, except this one. Don't mind us messaging with YouTube using bananas. Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay, so now I can do a private set and just a get. So I should be able to access it from here. So I just do game manager that instance that player health script that receive damage, and the damage is going to be, oh, this is a penalty time, but I have another thing that's the penalty. Player outside of zone penalty. Player outside of zone. Damage penalty. And I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put this here as a comment. And it's gonna be, yeah, player outside of zone damage penalty. Like that, but I'm gonna I don't wanna use the full thing like that. So I'm just gonna call it player OOZDB. And I'm gonna say, let's say 5. Well, it should be, I should have a maximum and a minimum, or start and minimum. You need to say access with a get. No, access with a baguette. It's more like it. Yeah, of course, access with a baguette. And Mijo said this is banana for not for you. Yeah, you're trying you're trying hard to get your message reviewed. And Sartaj says, "Yo, what's up, Sartaj? Welcome to the stream. How is it going?" And TC, you say, "So when do you make the Southern Tower?" In a while. In a while, I'm gonna add the Southern Tower. Yeah, no, I want to go completely. I don't really care what Magicka or Helldivers does. I just like the Helldivers system for casting stuff, and I wanted to try to do something with it. So not really trying to take any more inspiration from them. If I find something that is cool, I will take it. But otherwise, I don't care. And Sartaj, to say, I just came from the hospital. Well, I hope you're good. I hope you're okay then, Sartaj. Hope everything is fine. And TC, you say, if you're making, yeah, I'm gonna have that. That's frustrating, but tower for pet magic. And me always say, forget egging someone's house. Banana into YouTube is fun. Yeah, you're trying hard to get reviewed. Okay, so I want to have a serialized field. Let's field private, and it's gonna be int, and it's gonna be layer OOCDP default, and it's gonna be, let's start at 5 for, yeah, let's start at 5. And I guess I could do the penalty decrease too. So let's do. Hmm. Yeah, the default is gonna be this. I won't be using this then. So here, player outside of zone damage penalty. I have the default here, and I'll have the maximum. So the maximum is gonna be something like 20, or not 20. Let's do 15. I think 20 is pretty rough. In TC, you say Roman. What? What happened? What happened? Fix it. Fix what? What? What did I do? What happened? So I'm gonna use here the player. Yeah, this thing. I need to subtract from or add to the damage, or add to the damage penalty, or yeah, the penalty, and subtract from the timer. What happened? DC. What happened? What did I do so wrong that you had to type that like that? Write this one out of 10. That did get flagged. I don't know. The flagging is. Well, you figured out the flagging. How does it work then? How does it work then? I'm waiting for a very large comment by TC, like just telling me why everything I've done so far is bad. Uh, okay, so here, a player outside of zone penalty time. I'm gonna have here serialize field private int player outside of zone penalty. And TC, you say? Or yeah, TC might just be trolling too. And TC, you say make another art contest just so we can both submit a Drake meme of Roman, but it's fixed update and update. I'm not against that. Yeah, a New Year's competition, and it's just memes. And that's just the meme. Oh, okay. Yeah, the thing about you're talking about update, right? Yeah, I'm not. I have kept my promise. The new ones that I've used are using fixed update. I just want to have more time to change everything to fixed update. For now, it's just staying. But everything new is gonna be fixed update, and then I'll figure it out. I'll do the change to fixed update, like everything to fixed update. Yeah, but there will be, like, seriously, there will be one in February. In February for Valentine's. Okay, here. Player outside of zone penalty time. Or yeah, time minimum. and player outside of some penalty time maximum or default like that. So I'm gonna put the default first. The default time is gonna be 1.5 seconds. Yeah, I'm using an int. Why was I using an int? Float. This is float. Yeah, like that. Okay, so this, I don't need to see this then, or yeah, I don't need this anymore. And this is layer, is layer outside of zone penalty. Just making sure that it's comprehensible. The TC, Roman, what the heck are you talking about? Maybe it's the delay. Maybe it's the delay, or maybe I went on a. I just went rambling. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It happens sometimes. Magic banana spell? When? Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. Feedback. Banana spell. Sometime maybe you'll see a banana spell somewhere. Like it's gonna be like a real spell in the game. Not even going to be like some joke or anything. Maybe it will make it to the full game. Okay. So in here, let's go back to this player outside of zone penalty time default. That's default. Now for the minimum, I could start it at 0.5 F. And TC just say it still says delta time, Roman. As I said, I'm I'm not changing it now because it works now in my tests and in development for now. But sometime I'll grab every single update and I'll turn it into a fixed update. When I do that, I will make sure to use fixed update or fixed time, fixed delta time here. Oh, but you say void update. I fear some things might break. Super easy to control F delta time. Yeah, because if I do here update, yeah, I can find here, but regular expression, like I should do it everywhere, right? Because it's just going to find in. Well, let's do this one. Let's do this one to give you some peace of mind. And let me find delta time. So I just have two instances. Let me see what you were doing there. So delta time, fix delta time. How do you do that? How do you change those? Oh, replace. There it is. Fixed delta time, like that. I've never used it. Okay, there it is. Problems? No problems, it seems. Okay, so at least in this script, it's not going to trigger you TC. Okay, so here player penalty. Yeah, back to this. I'll set 0.5 as the minimum time. TC got flagged. What get got flagged? Can't you recover the message yourself, Nick? Since you are a mod. You want whatever due to smoking. It's tripping hard. Okay, so player outside of zone penalty timer. I'm just going to shorten this like this. Timer. Okay. So here, well, I could have just do F2 and replace it everywhere, but I'm gonna manually do it because I still want to see where I'm using this. So it's gonna be player OOSCP timer, and I should probably have like a tooltip for these things. Okay, player outside of zone penalty timer is equal to player outside of zone penalty timer. Yeah, but um I need like the current time because it needs to be the timer needs to reset. Yeah, because here I have well this, yeah, that's okay. So I'm gonna do here player outside of zone timer. Okay, I need to add to the penalty, so that will be doing this. Let's do player OO set D P plus equals 1 or plus plus, and I'll do if the player OOCDP is more than the player OOCDP max, then I'm gonna cap it at that. I could also just do I think on math F you have like clumping, but why? I'm just gonna clump it this way. Player OOCDP equals the maximum, basically player OOCDP max. Now the same for the timer. So here, the timer. Let's grab the timer player OOCDP. Dude, it's very weird to be reading these things. The timer. Well, the timer is not going to keep track of this, so I guess I need to keep track of this in another way. Nick, to say, do you know? Do you not need the banana got flagged? I allowed it. Okay. Yeah, everyone should be able to say banana. Why the ban or the flagging? Okay, it's inappropriate time to go eat a banana. And Nick to say, will you be milking YouTube for views again and not say anything about Magicka in the next video? Dude, if I have the chance, I'll milk YouTube. uh, but it was very like I didn't really know about Magicka when I made that video. I wasn't conscious of the milking. TC flagged again? Dude, why? YouTube is very against TC. See, Nick, I'm having too much fun. This should be as funny as it should be. Yeah, TC is getting silenced hard by YouTube. Yeah, but as a moderator, Nick, does it appear to you when things get flagged, or not just appear, but can you like let the messages pass? Okay, so yeah, subtracting this. I want to keep current time, so it's gonna be here under the header of, yeah, player penalty. So here is gonna be private float current player OOCP time, and I have to start the player OCP. Yeah, let's just not forget about this. So on start, let me say player OOCDP equals player OOCDP default, and also player OOCP timer. Yeah, the current time is gonna be equal to the player OOCDP default. No, this is not the one. It's OOCP time minimum, or yeah, time default. Um, Need to say it shouldn't be as fast as it is. Yeah, I can click allow or don't allow. Okay, okay. TC, you say the river Niger is in Africa and might have bananas. Okay, yeah, you were trying to get the flagging, but at this point, that should be like a common attempt to try the system. They should like let it pass. And I allowed Mihal right now, and that one was a real attempt to get it flagged, so it doesn't flag it. I flag it. I don't know. YouTube doesn't have a second filter that just auto deletes stuff without telling anyone. But this one didn't trigger either. And it did pass. Yeah, that's very very weird. Okay, currently player OOC time. What do I want to do here? Yeah, subtract from that. So I'm gonna subtract from the current time. I'm gonna say minus equals 0.1 f, and if and I'm using magic numbers here, probably shouldn't. Player OOCP, or if, yeah, current player OOCP time is less than the minimum time, I'm just going to grab it and set it to the minimum. Yeah, YouTube declared the war on banana a while ago. It just doesn't let it through. Just doesn't let it through. Yeah, I look into the settings of the auto flagging, because these are crazy. These are crazy. The banana is trapped. Okay, so if I go here I have a problem. Here is Yeah, player outside of zone. Yeah, if it's false, then I want to assign player. The timer is gonna be the default time. Player OOCP. Yeah, the current one. We need not fear the banana. Okay, so in here, yeah, let's go a little bit back in here. We must embrace the banana in tribute of the banana man. Mm. Okay, so here I have to check when this is true. I won't only debug that log, but I need to also set the player or current player. The timer needs to be the default. So player, like it needs to be reset. So here playing sponsor, no, it's gonna be player OCP DP default. No, that's not the one. It's for player OOCP time default. And for the damage, now that's the player OOCDP. So that is gonna be the default. So player OOCDP default. That's it, like just restarting those values. You want to say I crave a banana? What else? Am I missing something? I don't think I am. What's the problem in here? Mm, yeah, the timer is being set to timer. This needs to be something else. Yeah, the timer. Well, should I apply it first and then restart? Yeah. So first I should do the assignment. So the timer is gonna be equal to the player or current player OCP time. That's it. And TC, you say, Roman, I left you a gift in Discord. Should I watch it now? Should I watch it now? Where is it? In what channel? Which channel? Yeah, there's a lot I have to. There's a lot I have to watch here. That I just love this. These cats. What is this? No, I made this abomination. It's in whip. Okay, yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna put it here. Chair whip. 3D banana model. That's a good present. I'm gonna. I need to put that in Source Collector 3. Let me open. I'm gonna save it here in the folder for strategy and magic. Thank you for the present, by the way. I'm gonna save it on the folder for this game, so I don't forget. I have a 3D model to use when I do the banana spell. Yeah, it's gonna be super out of place. Yeah, man. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. The banana lives forever. It will be immortalized. Okay, yeah, let's minimize this, and I think this should work already. At least the at least the damaging. There won't be any post processing or anything, but I should get damaged when I get outside. May the bananas prosper. May the bananas prosper. Let me kill these enemies. Let's still lead them. Okay, if I get here, yeah, deactivate the penalization, and if I get out, oh, no reference, no reference exception. Game manager instance player health script receive damage. Okay, but why didn't I get? Oh, because this is a normal log. This is log error. Yeah, that must have been very scary, Nick. Hearing you hum the exact part, I just hummed to myself. Was totally scary. Okay. Yeah, player health script was not found. Why is that? I have a tag on the player that is player. So find with tag, I do player. I'm in your walls, Nick. You don't know, but the basement you haven't checked for a while, that's where I am. Okay, so here game update find tag. I don't know. I don't know. Find with tag. Let me see how this works. Just maybe. Well, I want to see first. Let me put a variable here. So it's gonna be first the player. So game object player is gonna be just this game object that find with tag player, and then if the player is not null, I'm going to do player health script equals player that get component player health, and else I'm going to debug. Let me do a separation here. Debug that log error. And it's gonna be player game object was not found. Miholy say he's in your house, yeah, and need to say I was there yesterday for the Christmas decorations. You should have said hi. Yeah, I got shy. I got shy. You entered the basement. It has been a while since you entered the basement, so I just got shy. I'm sorry, okay? I'll say hi next time. Okay. Player game object was not found. Let's see which one I get, which error I get. Probably gonna get both. No, I didn't get both. Oh, well, then this is not. Hmm. So what is this object? What is this that I'm getting with the tag player? Is there anything else with the tag player? I very much doubt it. Well, everything in the player is tag player. So that could be it. Yeah, everything in the player is tag player. So I'll just have to search for the specific player. So I could do this player health script equals game object, not game manager, but game object that find player. And I'm just doing this because I don't want to assign it in the inspector. Player dot get component player health. And let's see if that doesn't throw me an error. Let's see if it finds it. Okay. Save file found. Right. Now, if I enter here and I go out, yeah, I'm getting progressively more damage, and there should be a limit to this. Yeah, if you're outside for too long, you're gonna get a lot of damage. And if you enter, yeah, it's back. Now the thing is, I should have post-processing effects and whatever for this, so you know you're gonna get damaged. How fast from 100 HP? We can check. Let's see. That's an important test. Yeah, so we're here. We don't have time. Well, I'm gonna keep track of time here at second. Yeah, I'll keep track. Oh, well, I first have to have full health then. Full health. Let me get full health. Okay, let's count. Let's see. It's second 30 36, but I went out. Second 36. Yeah, so from 36 to 51, it's almost like 20 seconds. Almost 20 seconds. So it could be more. We could start at something like, let's go into the wave manager. And let's go into the penalization. Yeah, it's on wave manager. Why don't I have the header? This should be separated. Yeah, why You can see here, this should be separated with a header. I don't have a header. Anti-spawner, subwave settings. Yeah, I do have a, okay. I need to put this here then. Player in spawn zone. Yeah, but I don't want to have this here. Probably at the bottom then. And TCU should have a line between the character and the stone when being hurt. Oh, so you like it like a something that symbolizes like you should go there, so you don't get hurt. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Let me go in here. Yeah. So the functionality, it's kind of there, but I'm not going to check it for now. I want to have distortion aberration, and let's do the line towards the zone when outside of it. And I could just do this with a line render. It doesn't need to be anything special. Say, Nick, cheater. It's probably idea. Wait, good. Jackpot. Cheese, Mijo. Mijo is in second place. Dude, you're so close to being first. Just uh a couple of currency to get to top one. Have you ever been in top one, Mijo? Yeah, so that. Now, distortion and aberration. Let me pull the post processing manager. Yeah, and I don't think I will finish this today, because I have like half an hour and I'll go. But we got pretty far. We're pretty far. Oh, and tomorrow there won't be any stream. I don't know if I told you this, but tomorrow there won't be stream. I'm just gonna be with my family. Okay, so here, post processing manager. Um, yeah, let's enter the post processing manager. I think I had that open already. Yeah, so I have a vignette and bloom. Those are the only things that I have for now. Now let's go into post-processing volume. Let's go to the global volume. Say Christmas time. Have fun. Well, thank you, mijo. Thank you, thank you. And how much currency do I have? Why are you checking? Like, it doesn't matter how much currency I have because, like, I don't. Well, I have a lot of currency, but I'm here all the time, like all the time. Okay, so here, uh let's do what? Let's do an override, add override. And it's gonna be, well, this is lighting. I can change the lighting, adaptive pro volume options. This wasn't here before version 6, I'd say. Yeah, so I wanna have some chromatic aberration probably. What else? And I don't know if lens distortion, Panini projection, split toning, white balance, screen space. Motion blur, lens distortion. That's the mindset of a non-gambler. That's why you're not on the leaderboard. Let me gamble everything then. Let's do. I'm gonna bet everything to to black. Black, and I'll do 1, 6, 18. Will it run? I think I placed it in the two chats. So I think it will run. You can't pay. Oh yeah, you have to switch account to bet there. Betting 20 to even. Okay. So let's see. I'm actually curious to see if I can win that roulette. Yeah, if I do chromatic aberration is pretty cool. Chromatic aberration is really cool. And what about lens distortion? Intensity. But I don't want. I want the intensity to be like this probably. And I could also use the distortion to with the zoom, and it should look cool. Did it run? I think it's only running for Miho. I'm not sure. I think it's only running for you, Miho. Yeah, what a shame. What a shame. Okay, so here, lens distortion. I'm not actually sure which, because I would like to have something apart from chromatic aberration. Um, yeah, something apart from chromatic aberration, because chromatic aberration looks pretty cool, but on its own, it's not a big deal. Like it's not enough, I would say. And this is the highest it can be. This is the game with the highest chromatic aberration. Um, I'm thinking maybe doing something with color, like setting the white balance or something, or the gamma or something like that. Yeah, psychedelic dream setting. Remove, and I'm gonna add another override post processing. Well, I have white balance, split toning, shadows, midtones, motion blur. Yeah, motion blur. Nope. Depth of field. I think games like this, or at least this game, wouldn't really benefit from having motion blur. I don't know, because you're constantly moving, and it would look a little bit weird. I could also like just add motion blur and make it a setting, but I don't know. It's not that important right now. So if I do lift, gamma, and gain, let's find something interesting here. Lift. Let's do something close to red, or yeah, it's going to progressively get from this color to red. Could be. Say a little bit of bloom is always good. A little bit is the keyword. Let's try some motion blur, but I won't be able to remove it, or you won't be able to remove it. Can I move it from here? Like move up? Yeah. Mode camera only. Camera only. Quality. High quality. Intensity. Very very low. Let's do a 0, 1 of motion blur. What is very intense? Okay, this is very intense motion blur. But what about 0, 2? Say bloom and motion blur are two different things. Oh, a little bit of bloom. Sorry. Sorry, I was in my head. I was thinking about motion blur, not this, not bloom. Yeah, let's reset this. And yeah, the bloom does look good. I just think it's very easy to add a lot of it. Like now I have the intensity set to 1, and I think that's good. I think that's good. But if I do, and by the way, I really like the way these guys look in a dark environment. They look very glowy and very, very cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna remove the motion blur. I kinda like the motion blur. Now that I don't have the motion blur, I kinda miss it. Yeah, anyway. Chromatic aberration. Yeah, but I just want to check these colors and stuff. Let's say gamma. Okay, this is more like it. I think changing the gamma is better. And what about the gain? And what about just everything? Because lift is like, I don't know. Okay, so this should be like the last, like this would be like the maximum point. And need to say, will they emit light on absurdly high settings? They do emit light. They are emitting light. Just a little bit. And I made that their shaders don't affect lighting. So there's not like performance issues because I will have a lot of these enemies and I'm not sure if this will run on a potato. Say the gamma is a cool passive effect whenever you're hurt. The second one should only be momentary, like the moment when you're hit. I think that's a good approach. So you would say, yeah, gamma, I keep it. Okay, this is a lift. I'm changing the lift here. Lift is set to almost the center. Now, the gain, you said, oh, what happened? Why can't I change the gain? Yeah, here. You would change the gain to this and leave the gamma there. Because this is how the gamma looks normally. Now that I check this, the game looks way more blue. Way more blue. And it happens always when I change colors of things. Like I just get used to so quickly to the new colors. Now everything looks a little bit too blue for me. And this is like going to blue. But yeah, I would like to do something like red or pink. But this is lift. So yeah, you would say keep the gamma up. Like that. And whenever I get hurt, I would do like full gain and then gain back. Oh, you say all the time the gamma being linked to the HP no matter what. On the second one, I don't remember. That makes everything red when you're getting hit. Yeah. So gain. Well, gain and lift. Gain and lift. Yeah, but this is yeah. I like the thing with the gamma. I like the thing with the gamma. But talking about the effect when you get out of when you start getting damage because you are outside of the zone, should I just ramp the lift on the gain red, like making it like that when you're outside, like progressively getting red, so it will at the last second before you die, it's gonna look something like this. What do you say? But the gamma is gonna be linked to your current health. If that's what we're talking about. Okay, yeah, I like it. I like that. Okay. Now the hard part is actually doing it. And I'm going to, you know what? I'm keeping the motion blur. You like the motion blur? Because I really liked having it before. I really like how it looks. It's very, very subtle because I have it at 0.2. I could make it like 0.15, so it's like very, very subtle, but it does add a little bit to the game. So I don't like motion blur in general. Makes me sick for an extended period of time. Okay, then I'm going to remove it. I will have it as a since I don't have a settings menu yet, I won't add it. When I have a settings menu and you can change and you can toggle it, then I will add it. Okay, remove motion blur. Now I want to keep well, this I want to reset this component, and I'm covering everything with my face. I should do the same setup that I had before for my streams. Like I could move my face to the other part of the screen. I just don't have it now. But yeah. Motion blur if outside the zone. Yeah, that'll work too. That would work too. But yeah, since I don't have a toggle, I'm just gonna or desaturating the game. That's a good idea also. Let's try that. Let's try that before committing to anything. Well, maybe we can just try before, yeah, because I only have like 20 minutes. I don't think I'll be able to implement it fully. I'm gonna leave it for next stream. So next stream is gonna be Friday. And we are going to implement this. But yeah, let's play a little bit around with how it looks. Yeah, make the player hate leaving the zone. Okay. So this would be like making, oh yeah, I'm not touching that. This is the lift. This is what lift does. But let me just press play first, because if I change something, I don't want to be like updated as the base way of saying stuff. So gamma, what will gamma do? Everything is slider now. Gain. It looks like, this really looks like a psychedelic experience, like the potions were strong. Everything is brighter than distortion. With chromatic aberration. Yeah, so I don't want to do that. I want to, yeah, let's keep it at 1, like it normally is. Keep it at 1. Or actually, I want to see how the exterior looks, because the exterior is gonna look so bright. Yeah, it blinds me. It reminds me of Grand Theft Auto, when I don't know if you play 5, but when you use Trevor and he's like drunk, very drunk, you see something similar to this. Well, there's also like all the missions with where you use drugs, you see something similar to this, like just with different colors. I'd say. Okay, let's put the gamma back. Add an override post-processing, and it's going to be color adjustment or channel mixing. Yeah, here I can change the red, greens, and blues. So I'm gonna enable red, green, and blue. So I remove from this. Yeah, but that doesn't work as I thought. That didn't work as I thought. Let's reset. Yeah, so the channel mixer, no. Let's remove that. Add an override. Post-processing effect. And white. Balance, maybe? Temperature and tint. Yeah, but white balance is not going to allow me to do that. And the tint. Yeah, which one is for basically making it black and white? I don't know how black and white will look, but we can try. Add override, post-processing, lens distortion, motion blur, panini projection, screen space, lens flare, shadows, midtones, highlight, split toning. I guess color adjustments. Contrast. I think that's it. Contrast, no contrast. Okay, that wasn't it. Let's see, 0 and saturation. That's it. It looks so weird. I don't know if I would like the player to see this like this way. And also the UI should update too then. W? Yeah, I don't know. It seems very weird to me. If only the orb had color. Yeah, so now if I go here like this, it's gonna get penalized here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really liking the idea of making it black and white when you get out of it. Like, I don't know if it combines the idea as I wanted to do. Looks weird. Looks. You can see like the full, basically how is this called in color? The value. You can see the value of the colors I'm using, and the contrast. There's a lot of contrast everywhere. They're not fully black and white, a decent bit, not all the way. So something like, well, something like this. This is minus 46. Let's do minus 50. The minimum I can do is minus 100. So something like this. Combined with the color aberration. Well, we could do a combination and we could take it here, the red. Something like that, you say? Or well, I just added the red on the lift, gamma, and gain. What do you think about this? It doesn't look bad actually. I do like it. I do like it. I don't really like the fully black and white, but this is okay. Yeah, because yeah, this would be like the last moment you're alive. Uh, like generally, this wouldn't be like that. Really, it would be something like more gradual, more gradual. Like you're gonna get, like you're gonna notice it's changing. Yeah, let me pause this. And Miho said, yeah, this works combined with the red going up from distance. Distance wasn't it supposed to be feedback for HP? Um, yeah, it is. It is feedback for HP. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep something like that. Now, I have to do it, and I'm going to take a while. So I think, well, we figured it out. Let's first of all, I'm going to leave that tint applied for next time for next stream, so I can just come here and start working on that. And it was what color adjustments? Yeah, saturation. Let's do -50. So I'm gonna leave that there for next time, and I'm going to end it here. So thank you guys for joining. Thank you a lot. Really, really appreciate it. I know I say this every single stream, but for real, I really mean it. I really appreciate you for joining and for chatting here. It's very, very fun. So see you Friday. See you Friday, and Merry Christmas for you all. Have fun. Bye bye. Bye bye.